Good morning, everyone. Here's our story for the day. It's called Chrysanthemum. The day she was born was the happiest day in her parents' lives. She's perfect, said her mother. Absolutely, said her father. And she was absolutely perfect. Her name must be everything she is, said her mother. Her name must be perfect, said her father. And it was Chrysanthemum. Her parents named her Chrysanthemum. Chrysanthemum grew and grew and grew, and when she was old enough to appreciate it, she loved her name. She loved the way it sounded when her mother woke her up. She loved the way it sounded when her father called her for dinner. And she loved the way it sounded when she whispered it to herself in the bathroom mirror. Chrysanthemum, 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 chrysanthemum. Loved the way her name looked when it was written with ink on an envelope. She loved the way it looked when it was written with icing on her birthday cake. And she loved the way it looked when she wrote it herself with her big fat orange crayon. Chrysanthemum. Chrysanthemum thought her name was perfect, and then she started school. On the first day, Chrysanthemum wore her sunniest dress and her brightest smile. She ran all the way to school. Hooray, said Chrysanthemum. School. But when Miss Chad took the roll call, everyone giggled upon hearing Chrysanthemum's name. Hee, 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 hee. It's so long, said Joe. It scarcely fits on your name tag, said Rita. I'm named after my grandmother, said Victoria. You're named after a flower. Chrysanthemum wilted. She did not know that her name was not absolutely perfect, and so she thought it was absolutely dreadful. The rest of the day was not much better. During nap time, Victoria raised her hand and informed Miss Chudd that Chrysanthemum's name was spelled with 13 letters. That's exactly half as many letters as there are in the entire alphabet, Victoria explained. Thank you for sharing that with us, said Miss Chudd. Now put your head down. If I had a name like yours, I'd change it, Victoria said, as the students lined up to go home. I wish I could, thought Chrysanthemum miserably. Welcome home, said her mother. Welcome home, said her father. School is no place for me, said Chrysanthemum. My name is too long. It scarcely fits on my name tag. And I'm named after a flower. Oh, poosh, said her mother. Your name is beautiful and precious and priceless and fascinating and winsome, said her father. It's everything you are, said her mother. Absolutely perfect, said her father. Chrysanthemum felt much better after her favorite dinner, macaroni and cheese with ketchup, and an evening filled with hugs and kisses and parcheesi. That night, Chrysanthemum dreamed that her name was Jane. It was a very nice dream. The next morning, Chrysanthemum wore her most comfortable jumper. She walked to school as slowly as she could. She dragged her feet in the dirt. Chrysanthemum, 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 she wrote. She even looks like a flower, said Victoria as Chrysanthemum entered the playground. Let's pick her, said Rita, pointing. Let's smell her, said Joe. And Chrysanthemum wilted. She did not think her name was absolutely perfect. She thought it was absolutely dreadful. The rest of the day was not much better. During nap time, Victoria raised her hand and said, a chrysanthemum is a flower. It lives in the garden with worms and other dirty things. Thank you for sharing that with us, Victoria. Now put your head down. I just cannot believe your name, Victoria said as all the students lined up to go home. Neither can I, thought Chrysanthemum miserably. Welcome home, said her mother. Welcome home, said her father. School is no place for me, said Chrysanthemum. They said I even looked like a flower. They pretended to pick me and smell me. Oh, poosh, said her father. They're just jealous and envious and begrudging and discontented and jaundiced, said her mother. Who wouldn't be jealous of a name like yours, said her mother. After all, it's absolutely perfect, said her father. Chrysanthemum felt a little bit better after her favorite dessert, chocolate cake with buttercream frosting. and another evening filled with hugs and kisses and parcheesi. That night, Chrysanthemum dreamed that she was really a chrysanthemum. She sprouted leaves and petals, and Victoria picked her and plucked the leaves one by one until there was nothing left but a scrawny stem. It was the worst nightmare that Chrysanthemum had ever had. Chrysanthemum wore her outfit with 7 pockets the next morning. She loaded the pockets with her most prized possessions and her good luck charms, and Chrysanthemum took the longest route possible to school. She stopped and stared at every flower, and each flower seemed to say, "Chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum." That morning, the students were introduced to Miss Twinkle, the music teacher. Her voice was like something out of a dream, as was everything else, and the students were speechless. They thought Miss Twinkle was an indescribable wonder. They went out of their way to make a nice impression. Miss Twinkle led the students in scales, and then she assigned roles for the class musical. Victoria was chosen as the dainty fairy queen. Rita was chosen as the spiffy butterfly prince. Jo was chosen as an all-important pixie messenger, and Chrysanthemum was chosen as a daisy. Chrysanthemum's a daisy, chrysanthemum's a daisy. Jo, Rita, and Victoria chanted, thinking it was wildly funny, and Chrysanthemum wilted. She did not think her name was absolutely perfect. She thought her name was absolutely dreadful. "What's so humorous?" said Miss Twinkle. "Chrysanthemum," was the answer. "Her name is so long," said Jo. "It scarcely fits on her tag," said Rita. "I'm named after my grandmother," said Victoria. "She's named after a flower." "My name is long," said Miss Twinkle. "It is," said Jo. "My name would scarcely fit on a name tag," said Miss Twinkle. "It wouldn't," said Rita. "And I'm named after a flower, too." "You are?" said Victoria. "Yes, my name is Delphinium, Delphinium Twinkle. And if my baby is a girl, I'm thinking of calling her Chrysanthemum as a name. I think it's perfect." Chrysanthemum could scarcely believe her ears. She blushed, she bloomed, she beamed. "Chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum." Jo, Rita, and Victoria looked at Chrysanthemum longingly. "Call me Marigold," said Jo. "I'll be Carnation," said Rita. "My name is Lily of the Valley," said Victoria. Chrysanthemum did not think her name was absolutely perfect. After that, she knew it. Overall, the class musical was a huge success. Chrysanthemum was a perfect daisy. Victoria only made one mistake. She forgot her line. Chrysanthemum thought it was funny and giggled throughout the entire dance of the flowers. Eventually, Miss Twinkle gave birth to a very beautiful baby girl. She named that baby Chrysanthemum. Well, bye everyone. Hope you enjoyed the story.